Forge of Realms just released update 1.4, also known as the Odds and Ends update. In this update, they pretty much completely removed the badges and tasks system, and the only thing left is streaks. They've also added new cosmetics and furniture to the Badger Crate keys. Aside from the badge system, they've completely changed how seasonal tools work. They are now skins which you have a chance of getting whenever you roll an item from a key, and in order to use them, all you have to do is head over to Boulder and you can apply the skin onto any tool. There's honestly so many other little changes that were made in this update, I'll be going over everything in this video. If you want to check this update out for yourself, be sure to hop on over to play.orderrealms.com today. With all of that being said, hope you guys enjoy the video. To start things off, I'll go ahead and talk about all the changes that were made relating to the badge system. Obviously badges, tasks, and levels are completely gone now, but we still have the streak system. To increase your streak now, all you have to do is give Badger 3 random items that he'll request each day. As you can see today, he wants me to give him 10 Baobab logs, 2 raw cod, and 3 raw gold, which are all pretty easy to get. This will probably only take me like 2 minutes, since I have most of these items already. The reason they decided to completely change the system is because the admins weren't happy with it and they thought it was too grindy, which I can understand. I am gonna kinda miss the old badge system though, since it was a little nice having something in the game that required you to grind. Yes, the system wasn't amazing, some of the tasks were quite annoying, but at least they gave you something to do, and they probably could have made it work better with some changes. And obviously with this update, they've changed the system a lot. It's very different from what it used to be, and it'll only take like 5 minutes out of your day now to get the items that Badger requests. So yeah. Also, you don't have to worry about losing your streak anymore, because now if you miss a day, your streak will just freeze, and you can miss up to 7 days before it resets back to 0. I honestly love this change. It's about time that they added something like this. I'm surprised they never did while the original task system was here. Even if they did something like you had to pay like 1k rubies to save your streak, it would have been nice. So yeah, it's great that you don't have to worry about losing your streak anymore. I find it kind of crazy that there were actually a few people who were able to keep their streak ever since the system was released. Anyways, while we're on the topic of streaks, there's actually a new balloon you can get just for starting a streak. It's called the Fruits of Labor. Let's go ahead and find it here. Oh, there we go. There it is. Just pick red so it matches with the rest of the stuff I have. And something really cool about this balloon is that it grows every 10 days that you keep your streak for. So it'll grow when you hit a streak of 10, 20, 30, and so on. And every time you hit one of these milestones, your balloon will slowly get bigger and bigger. Just like this balloon back here. This person, how high is their streak? 320. Okay, it's one of the higher streaks out there. I think the highest one is like, who has it? Octorok. It's one of the people with a really high streak, 357. But yeah, this one's huge compared to mine. Mine is very small because I only have a streak of 16. Yeah, it's quite low because I've lost my streak plenty of times. But yeah, I believe this is the one it starts off as, and then for hitting a streak of 10, it grows a few flowers. To get the balloon to the maximum size, you need a streak of 540, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I have a streak of 16, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to hit that. There are a couple of people who are decently close. They probably have like 200 or 150 days left to go. Also, one cool thing you'll be able to do once you hit a streak of 540, you'll actually be able to add any finish you want onto the Fruits of Labor balloon. At least that's what an admin said, and I don't think they've changed plans since then. So yeah, that's really cool. A nice reward for your efforts. And one last thing, if you do lose your streak, you won't lose your balloon, plus it'll stay the same size, and the only way to make it grow again is if you pass your streak high score, which you can see from either your profile, right there, and you can see it as well if you go ahead and talk to Badger. And just want to quickly mention, since I forgot to earlier, Badger also tells you your upcoming rewards. As you can see, my balloon will get upgraded in 4 days, and I'll get more Badger keys. My only suggestion is that they add a menu that lets you see the items you need for your task, like how there used to be a /badges command that showed you your active tasks plus other info, like when the tasks reset and how many keys you would get once you hit your next streak milestone. So yeah, that would be very useful. But besides that, the new revamped badge system is pretty good. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a couple of Badger keys and see if I can possibly get any of the new items that were added. And afterward, I'll quickly show off all the new cosmetics and furniture that were added to the Badger Crate keys. Yeah, let's go ahead and open these. Hopefully we get something new. We'll see. Oh, a task board. This is one of the new items. I think I'll just use all my rerolls. So there's a chance I can get one of the new cosmetics, but I also might get like a banner or something, which is worth like the least. Do I use my last reroll or do I take this? I'm gonna risk it. I probably will regret this. Oh, I got the net. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. I actually don't have this one yet. On to the second key. A tent. There's another new one here. And a bed. Okay. And with a Badger rug. And there we go. I probably should have taken the tent, but I wanted to use all of my rolls. Not too bad though. Got a net and a Badger rug, which is one of the rug is one of the new furniture that was added. Okay, now I'll quickly go ahead and check out all the new Badger furniture and cosmetics. So I don't currently own all the new Badger furniture. I only have these 3 right here, not including the Jumbo Badger plushie because those are obviously not from the keys. So we're gonna go ahead and go over to Celestial's room. It should be open. So no, they have pretty much all of the new furniture. They have a huge museum filled with pretty much every custom Order Realms item in the game, so if you haven't already, you should definitely come check it out. Anyways, let's go over to the Badger area, and here we are. Obviously some of this furniture is old Badger furniture, but the new ones we have here are this wedge tent. This looks very nice. I love the little lantern here. Yeah, a lovely little tent there. We have the windmill right here. I believe that's the only animated furniture that was added. I mean, to be fair, they did change this one and it's animated now, but yeah. The windmill's a new one. We also have the task board here. Obviously this is the task board that was seen around spawn in several areas that was used in the bold badge system. So yeah, it's nice that they added that to the keys now. We also have the badger rug, which I showed off earlier. And then there's the, what's this called again? Sash banner, which has the 4 symbols of the previous badges that are available. And we also have a rocking chair here. Looks very nice. This is the same rocking chair that Badger sits in at spawn. And yeah, those are the 6 new Badger furniture items that were added in this update, and they all look very nice. Now I'll quickly go ahead and check out the new cosmetics. There's actually 2 new sets of cosmetics, so there's 6 in total. First we'll look at the bee ones. We have the beanie here. We have some very nice names. The balloon, and then we have, where is it at? The bee wings, and the honey wand. Out of these 4 cosmetics, I think my favorite is the bee loon. Honey wand's also pretty good. I personally just don't see myself wearing the other 2 ones. Just not my type, but they're very well made as always. And now onto the other cosmetic set, which is actually only 2. Snail eyes here. And then we have the snail shell. You can make yourself look even more like a snail if you actually use the gesture. So the gesture that comes with this, I'll go ahead and quickly show it off. I don't know how accurate this will be because I don't have the cosmetics on. So I don't know what this will look like. If I just check out the gesture in this area. Here we go. Snail gesture. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. I don't have the snail eyes on, but basically you can turn yourself to a snail, and also a sound effect for it too. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I would demonstrate it myself, but I unfortunately do not have the cosmetics right now. So yeah, I've got some lovely new sets of Badger cosmetics this update. I actually saw a post in the Showcase channel the other day where someone turned themselves into Gary using the new snail cosmetics plus a custom skin, which I thought was actually pretty creative, so just wanted to show that real quick. Also, they decided to give players compensation as a thank you to everyone who spent time leveling up their badges before they removed them in this update. On screen is a list of rewards you'll receive depending on what player level you were. And to claim your rewards, all you have to do is go ahead and talk to Badger. There's also an exclusive Badger balloon which you'll find in your wardrobe if you reach player level 100. This balloon is actually untradeable and it looks really cool. And here's a quick look at the furniture received as compensation. This one is actually exclusive, but these 2 you can get from Badger keys. We have a jumbo Badger plushie here. Let's actually compare it to the normal one real quick. Here's the normal one. Wow, okay, that one is tiny. I didn't actually realize it was that small. Okay, yeah, it's a huge difference. And also I have on the rest of the exclusive cosmetics. I have the Adventurer hat, the Firefly Lantern, and the Adventurer pack. There's also a really cool gesture that comes with the Adventurer pack cosmetic. Let's go ahead and do /gesture camping. There you go. I just set up a nice little tent there. And I would look at myself, but the angle is kind of weirder now. Does this fix it at all? Kind of, yeah. Just chilling at the bottom. Oh, I like the room too. And then if we go ahead and click shift, there's a little animation when I put away the pack. It's a really good gesture, probably one of my favorite ones now. I mean, this whole Legacy Badger set are definitely some of my favorite cosmetics now. I'll be wearing these for a while. I also have a Lunar Client Parrot pet here, which matches pretty well with my outfit. Anyways, that is all of the Badger related stuff, so let's go ahead and move on to talking about tool skins. Basically, they wanted to make things more fair for everyone, so they decided to make it so you no longer get event tools from seasonal crate keys, and instead you get a skin for the tools. I guess they decided to make this change because originally it kind of leaned more toward the pay-to-win side of things, since you could just buy event keys from the store and get unbreakable tools from them. Yes, you could still get them from trading with an event NPC, or really from seasonal balloon crates, but still, it's probably for the best they made it so unbreakable tools are no more attainable from event keys. So now, whenever you roll an item from an event key, you also have a chance of getting a tool skin with it, pretty much just like how cosmetic finishes work, except they won't be as rare as getting finishes, of course. If you head over to Boulder at Fracture Forge, you'll be able to apply a skin onto a tool for you. Go ahead and right click them. As you can see, they changed the menu a bit, even for the salvage section right here. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this real quick. Let's first take off the skin. Then we can go ahead and apply this spooky sword skin onto my legendary sword. And there we go. You can actually apply the skin onto any tool, including relic tools. Yeah, that's a really neat feature. I'm glad they added that. And if you apply it to, let's say, a wooden sword, and the sword runs out of durability and breaks, you'll still be able to keep the skin, which is good. At least that's what's supposed to happen. As you saw from that clip there, I ended up losing my tool skin when my wooden sword broke, which is obviously a bug, so right after I recorded that, I ended up submitting a bug report. So hopefully that'll get fixed soon. So for now, I advise you don't add tool skins onto wooden tools. I'm leaving this part in the video just because that's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to keep your tool skins. So yeah, hopefully in the very near future here, that'll be fixed. Yeah, I don't see why most people would even be using wooden tools anyway. Also, legendary tools are now the only unbreakable tools in the game, which you can get from legendary crit keys. So obviously if you get a tool skin, you'll probably want to apply that onto a legendary tool. If not, I think the next best tool would be like a relic tool. And for everyone who already had event tools before the update, your tools will stay the same. They've already been applied to their respective legendary tools. And obviously you can take the skins off of them if you wish to. There's one thing I don't like about the skins, and that is that you no longer see the original name of the tool. As you can see, it just says legendary pickaxe on top, and it doesn't actually say lunar pickaxe anywhere. It just says plus lunar skin. It has the lunar near tag, but it doesn't actually say the proper name anywhere, which I'm not really a fan of because I kind of like seeing the actual name. But besides that, I like the changes they made to the whole unbreakable tools system. I think it's pretty balanced. And yes, you could say you can buy legendary keys from the store, just like how I mentioned you could buy event keys from the store and get unbreakable tools. But they'll be removing legendary keys from the store at some point, so... And once they're removed, the only way to get them will be from structures, of course. Moving on now, they finally had the ability to trade rubies in the /trade. Go ahead and show it. Moving on, they finally had the ability to pay people rubies in /trade. Go ahead and click this, and you can add different amounts here. You can add like 1 ruby, 10 rubies, and so on. There's a casual 100k rubies. What do you... 1k? Whoa, I'm doing that wrong here. Oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I actually haven't messed around with this really. Let's say you want to do like 8k, you could just do 10k and then do that instead of having to click 1k 8 times, so that's cool. I think it would also be nice if you could just type in the amount you want to do, but oh well. Maybe it's just so people don't actually like mistype the amount, because I know people do that on Auction House where they mean to like auction something for 30k and they do 3k instead because they miss a 0. So let's go ahead and do 1k just for fun. Oh, nice. Offering 1,000 rubies. So now you'll be able to do a lot safer trades than you would before, because previously, before /trade was out, people would just trade by just dropping items, which was very risky. Especially for like items that were like 2021 exclusive items, where they were worth like millions. And for the longest, people traded literally just by dropping items, which was definitely very risky. So yeah, glad they finally added that feature. And now onto miscellaneous changes they made in this update, except this time they've made a ton, like a lot more than they usually do. So yeah, I'll just be going through the most important ones on this list. And if you want to check them all out, you can go ahead and read the blog post, which I'll have linked in the description. Wooden cabins are a new structure that's been added and they spawn in the dark oak biome. They're basically just a wooden mansion, but smaller. I think there's 3 different variants for the cabin, but they all contain pretty good loot. Some of the loot is exclusive to this structure, like, I believe there's there's like farming stuff you can get. You can get planter boxes, watering cans. Obviously those items aren't super great, you don't need like more than 1 watering can, but that's exclusive to the structure. There's also bells, which aren't necessarily exclusive. You could find them before in ruined portals, only in the nether, just not on the overworld for some reason. You can get those a lot easier now. Some of the other good loot you can get, as you can see from the footage that's being played right now, you can get rare or legendary crate keys, as well as totems of keeping, totems of undying, full use capture nets, which is a step up from the 1 use capture nets you can get from cities, and then there's also random books and fang charms and stuff like that. So yeah, overall you get some pretty solid loot from this structure. It also contains, I think, 1 or 2 mobs that weren't previously here until this update. There are vanilla mobs, there's a Ravager, and I think 1 other mob, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there's a Ravager. And obviously in vanilla Minecraft you see those in raids, like village raids, but there isn't any villages on Order Realms currently, so the only place you can find them are in these wooden cabins. I think it's pretty cool that they made it so if you open a chest, it releases the Ravager. I think it's the first time they've done something like that in this structure. So yeah, this is one of the new ways to get legendary keys, because as I mentioned earlier that they want to remove them from the store at some point, so they're adding more ways to get them in-game. So yeah, overall, woodland cabins are really cool. I love the build, it looks great. Good job to whoever designed it. You get some pretty good loot, it's fun to explore, pretty solid structure overall. Your badge streak high score now displays on your player profile, along with your legacy player level. Legendary shields have been added to the legendary key loot table, and you can now add enchants to shields. Legendary tools have been removed from Ancient City loot, and instead they've been replaced with legendary keys. They've also removed legendary keys from event loot tables, plus they've given legendary keys 3 rerolls instead of 1 now, which is great, especially since you can get some pretty bad items from these keys, like 32 ruby blocks, and a slot rune or a power rune and stuff like that, so that's a nice change. Leaf piles have been renamed to leaf litter, and leaf litter blocks now have a chance of falling from decaying leaf blocks, and they also require shears to be picked up. The shape of the big red and brown mushroom structures have been changed, and if you plant any red or brown mushrooms, they'll grow into the custom structures as well. Snails now spawn in a variety of different colors, and they can produce slime balls after eating 8 leaf litter blocks. Snails also have a small chance to emerge from fallen oak or birch logs when you break them, and they've also given snails a little Easter egg. If you go ahead and name it Gary, it will turn to Gary from SpongeBob. And this actually looks really cute, to be honest. Azalea trees now grow inside the lush caves biome. Also, underground biomes now spawn based on what the biome is above ground. So lush caves are now only in the temperate region and dripstone caves in the arid region. Silverfish nest structures now spawn randomly underground in the resource world. Basically just a little area with a chest, and then if you break any of the stone blocks, a bunch of silverfish will spawn. Several random UI elements have been improved. For instance, we go to the profile here. As you can see, this is this whole background right here is darker now. Looks pretty nice. Obviously we now have this icon here. You have the updated UIs at Boulder, and you also have some buttons that have been changed, like in the auction house. This button is now red, and the same thing applies to gestures. I feel like since they made this red, they should make this like green or something. I feel like that would go pretty well. And yeah, that's basically everything that's been added. Overall, I honestly love this update, but it is kind of sad seeing the original badges and task systems gone. As always, they've done a great job with all the new cosmetics and furniture, and I really like the new woven cabin structures. Definitely gonna be fun looking for those in the resource world and exploring them. And once again, if you'd like to check this update out for yourself, be sure to hop on over to PlayTheOrderRealms.com today. You should also check out the video I made last year when they released the badges and task system. And yeah, with all that being said, consider subscribing if you want to see more Order Realms content like this. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!